Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me where the fuck is Griezmann? Because he's not in Barcelona right now. Like he really isn't. He really freaking isn't. Oh my god. I mean, Inferno Blitz says here 3 games into the season and people are slathering Griezmann already. And I mean, it's different from last season. It's different 100%. But come on. He's literally been invisible. For a player of his quality, for a player you at least need to be able to produce some sort of things. And Griezmann currently is not doing that. Griezmann is doing absolutely bare minimal. I mean, someone like Memphis Depay today wasn't even the best player, but certainly he still managed to at least create something, be important. But he just wasn't there. He just wasn't there, dude. He wasn't. I mean, Memphis Depay wasn't there, but he contributed. He got a goal. He got a goal. He created a few chances. That's what we need to do. I think that honestly, we saw around 5 good minutes of Antoine Griezmann today. I remember second half, the ball from De Jong into Antoine Griezmann, and then Griezmann just cuts inside, passes it to Roberto, creates some circulation of the ball, good, nice and easy. But then he disappeared completely again. I mean, he hasn't even got a shot on target. He hasn't even gotten an assist. He hasn't even gotten a key pass. He's only had 2 successful dribbles in the first 2 games of Barcelona's season in La Liga. He's struggling a lot and he's not coming in deep. He's not coming in to recover the ball. He's doing that. Sorry, I need to retract myself. Sorry about that. He is doing that. He is coming back. He's getting the ball. He's circulating it. He's making good contributions, and certainly he's a team player. I think everybody, one of us, can see that here, but he's simply not doing enough when we talk about what we need to see from Antoine Griezmann and a player that he is. When you take a look at the way the Memphis Depay plays, and Braithwaite more particularly, they aren't players that will overstep into the positions and spaces that Griezmann will occupy. So certainly you cannot say and not put on the table that as an excuse. Before, Griezmann played in a very similar space as Messi. Now with Messi gone, you don't have that excuse anymore. And I was severely kind of encouraging Griezmann. I was really behind him. I was really like, okay, this season he might be a new revelation, because you know what? Messi's no longer here. You can come into the fold. You can be the main dictator of the game, kind of like how you do in France. But this time around, 3 games into the season, he's doing absolutely nothing. He was far better in the game in preseason. I remember against Juventus, the game before that in Stuttgart, and the game in Salzburg. He was a far better version of the guy that we're currently seeing now. But literally, he's running out of excuses, as some of you mentioned right now on the chat, and that's something that we need to talk about. We really need to talk about. So, hi guys, how are you doing? How are all of you today? Let me see how you're feeling. Barcelona just won 2-1 against Getafe in La Liga for match day number 3. We are right now on 7 points after the wins against Real Sociedad and the draw against Athletic Bilbao. Next game against Sevilla has been currently suspended. We do not know that when we'll be playing that game. So far right now, as many of you are also saying here, come on, our next game is against Bayern Munich on the timetable. We should get another game before that, but right now, as things stand, Bayern Munich is our next game. Bayern Munich, it's our next game. So how are you saying? Richard Esiel saying, when Ansu returns, Griezmann deserves to go to the bench. Like Memphis, he's doing, he should take notes better from him. Riqui and Collado, yeah, I mean, those two aren't even here in the game. I mean, I feel like he has always been a late bloomer, no? Well, Griezmann, yeah, kind of. Griezmann on the left is better than he's on the right. That is a very interesting point that you're suggesting there. I'm not too sure whether that's true. I think that Griezmann is better on the right. We've seen there in France as well, playing good. I think he's better on the center, of course. That's also another place that we need to point out to, but I don't think it's going to happen. Puig should play in Griezmann's role like Iniesta when he was younger as a false winger. I'm not too sure. Maybe that could work. That is something we could try out. I mean, Gavi kind of did that here in this game against in the left wing, but I'm still thinking that when the next game comes out, I think that potentially Memphis Depay, Griezmann, maybe Coutinho could come into the fold. Honestly, if we're going through form, Griezmann should be taking the bench, but I think that Koeman still backs Griezmann. And the thing is that also with Coutinho, these are players that we need to be able to recover. Barcelona must be able to recover Griezmann, and they must be able to recover Coutinho, because we know what sort of players they can be, what sort of numbers they can produce. And that is something that Barcelona right now currently lacks. We don't have the luxury of a humongous squad where we can go and say, okay, look at these world-class players that we have. We can just bring them in to replace Coutinho and Griezmann. No, because Griezmann and Coutinho are our only world-class players. I mean, of course, there's a lot more. I mean, only world-class player in the sense that we know what they can deliver before. So we kind of know how to rely on Ansu Fati, on these youngsters that are going to be the new generation coming in. And I think that that's okay, but for a team in Barcelona, you need to be able to have a mix of responsibilities, the veterans with the youngsters, the people who have already done it with those who haven't. And I think that ideally the perfect lineup would be something like Ansu Fati, Memphis, and then Antoine Griezmann. We still remain to see how that works. I like how Ansu Fati could replace someone like Martin Braithwaite, because we saw in this game, the ones prior, there's a good connection between Memphis Depay and Martin Braithwaite in how they interchange positions a lot. That is how the first goal came in the second minute by Sergio Roberto, where it was kind of Memphis Depay through the left, taking up the left winger position, passing it to an overlapping Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba then cutting inside, doing a low cross. Martin Braithwaite just does kind of like a feint, goes through his legs, and then he just comes out of it, and Sergio Roberto scores. And I think that is a sort of thing that we could see in a lot of, with particularly Ansu Fati and Memphis Depay. I think that that could work very, very nicely, but of course, we don't want to rush things with Ansu Fati right now. I think that if there's one thing that this game requires, or one thing that I believe we should see more of, is that I want to see now Ansu Fati come back. I don't want to rush him against Sevilla, but maybe in the game against Bayern. I'm not too sure if that's too big of a game, but I just really, really like things that, for instance, pain me a lot is that someone like Trincao right now, I know that right now against Manchester United, he's absolutely destroying. He's a proper attacker. We take a look at here what people say on Twitter, for instance, and a lot of people are talking about Trincao. Trincao is trending right now in the UK, and it makes sense because he's a proper baller, and people didn't give him a chance last season. Now without Messi, we didn't know at the time that we were going to be able to loan him out or whatnot, but it makes sense. Like, he should have been a player now. Like, for instance, in this game, I'm pretty sure that Koeman would have substituted out Griezmann for Trincao if he had the chance. He just doesn't believe in the others that I just mentioned. He doesn't believe in freaking Alex Collao and those players. Probably someone even like Demir should have played a lot. I think that, where was Demir today? Demir could have been a player that could have helped us. We saw how he progressed the ball very nice against Athletic Bilbao, how he really changed up the tempo of the game. He's a very good inside kind of winger. I'm not too sure whether he's the same profile as Trincao, for instance. That's a proper natural winger that likes to stick to the right flank, to the kind of line on the right. But seeing what Griezmann did today, I think that Demir could have done way more, and that is something that honestly Koeman has to really look, because he's a very, what's the opposite of proactive? He's basically that. He's the opposite of proactive. He's not taking the initiative. He's just playing very, very slowly. He doesn't have a right, I'll say, plan to the game. He doesn't know how to adapt. He doesn't know how to move. He doesn't make the substitutions at the right time. And I think that is something that we saw particularly with when we brought out Sergio Roberto, when Getafe were dominating in the second half. Koeman needed somebody to speed up the tempo, the rhythm of the game in the midfield. We needed somebody else there that could beat not sort of the press, but the defensive block that Getafe had put out there, because Getafe played at sometimes with 5 people in the midfield. And that was very hard for Frankie de Jong and Sergio Roberto to beat, because particularly more Sergio Roberto, his job isn't that. I mean, Sergio Roberto has been good, and we're going to get to that later, but we needed somebody like a Coutinho, somebody like a Demir, somebody like a Riqui Puig. Somebody could be able to just simply, with some good dribbling, some good association plays, just quick feet, help us progress through that line, because Barcelona lost the ball very, very easily. And what happened most of the time, we had to rely to long balls, and that is the plan that Getafe wanted. That is what favored Getafe a lot, in my opinion, in the second half, because those long balls, Barcelona are not suited to that. Who are we going to pass it to? To Braithwaite, to Memphis, to Ansu Fati? None of them are target men. None of them are particularly known for bringing the ball back down to their feet from the air. So that is something that Barcelona needs to improve on, because for us as a team, the ball on the ground is the main asset to become dangerous. And if you do not continue with that, you don't continue with that strategy, you don't pull it through, we're going to struggle. And we saw that today. We just struggled to create chances. And even before that with Messi, in situations like this, we always had to rely on somebody to drop deep. And it was Messi this time around. But this time around, I go back to the title. Where the fuck are you, Griezmann? Because Griezmann needed to do that a lot more. But he just didn't read the game. He just didn't. I have here some chats here. For instance, Abashen says, Buga, would you have liked Coutinho beyond as he could have provided creativity? Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think we needed something else. Just a lonely guy says, this has been now a pattern at Barca, back passing and more back passing, try to attack from the left. I mean, we had, by the end of the game, 12 attacks through the left, because I think that is where currently we see just Memphis Depay, and he's our only freaking option, you know? Aaron runs the world. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Roma Kuman said, we must highlight the attitude and the work we have put in order to win games. I'm very happy with the team in the second half. We were able to play better. No, that's fake. That's fake. We weren't able to play in the second half better. That's completely fake, Kuman. That's completely fake. I mean, I still back you, Ronald. I think you are serving a progression, you're serving a role, you're doing kind of like a Solskjaer for Manchester United, at least for us here right now, and that is something that we needed. But I don't think you're gonna be the guy to take us to the top back again. I feel you are not. I think you're a guy for a transition for a period of time. I think our date has an expiry, and certainly that expiry date will be soon. But I don't think that that we play better in the second half. I really don't. Dante Redway says, every team we play is literally out shooting us. Yeah, they are. Cluchio says, I stopped complaining about Koeman as he subs and just accepted he's stubborn. I mean, I get the subs, but playing devil's advocate, we don't have that many open, I don't know how you say it, we don't have that many opportunities to be able to bring on other people. We don't have Ansu Fati, Dembele, Coutinho. I mean, he's not fit, perhaps that's why he didn't play. Who else am I missing? I mean, we're missing players here and there, and particularly those players in Ansu Fati, Dembele, and Coutinho, and more so the wingers. They are players that are the only ones with that sort of profile, that sort of ability, and we don't have many more names to replace that. We don't have people in that will help us stretch the defense. I'm a believer that once we get Ansu Fati and Dembele, maybe Griezmann could improve because there's going to be more spaces and certainly more opportunities for him to be able to connect passes through. But the thing is that a lot of the time I saw weak passes from him. I saw a lot of different situations where Antoine Griezmann would lose easy challenges. And most importantly, he wasn't stiff enough. He wasn't hard enough, and you need to be hard in certain situations. That's what's the difference about Messi. Messi, sometimes people look at him like a very shy footballer, very, very kind of timid. But inside, Messi's really hard. I mean, he's a hard man because he gets kicked a lot, and you see that when he's furious. You see that in the South American qualifiers. You see that here in this part of the world because that is what they make you. Messi's a hard man. He's a hard footballer. He gets kicked, he continues. I go back to that game where Barcelona had the remontada in the Bernabeu, where Marcelo constantly kicked him. He had his nose bleeding. He had that tissue with blood all over it, and he still played like the last 20 minutes of the first half with it because he's a hard man, and Griezmann is not. And I think that is the main difference. I think Griezmann needs to believe on the role that he can be the carry of this team a little bit more. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't have the confidence in himself to say, look in the mirror and be like, okay, Grizzy, I'm the guy. I'm the man. I'm the man because I'm the guy. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't believe he's the guy. Currently, Memphis Depay is our guy. I've done a video before. He's our poster boy kind of thing. And that's good because Memphis Depay doesn't give a fuck about what people think about him. He doesn't give a fuck about who came beforehand. But Antoine Griezmann as well, Memphis Depay cannot do that alone. So you need to step up. You need to hang out more with Memphis Depay. You need to be able to look him in the eye and be like, you know, man, teach me. Teach me how to be fucking like you. Because right now, Griezmann doesn't have that. and he needs to improve on it. And I think it's all apart from here. It's all up here. I always say football is 50% up here, played up here. And Griezmann has to do that, has to believe in himself a little bit more. A little bit more. People say as well, like the whistles to Antoine Griezmann, where they were beneficial or whatnot. I mean, I don't understand that. I never will understand you whistling your own players, but there's something behind it. And I think it's a little bit of pressure. You know what? It's saying, Griezmann, you need to turn up. You need to turn up. You need to be better. You need to be better. You need to play more fluid football. And most importantly, you need to associate yourself more. I think that Antoine Griezmann still is playing like when Messi was here, or people are, or he's kind of believing, you know what? Messi, now I'm kind of having to take this mantle with you. And perhaps that's a little bit of pressure that he doesn't need. But guess what? That is what you have. And that is what you deserve. That's what you had in Atletico Madrid. That is what you had in France. So believe it more in you. Believe it in yourself. Believe that you have that talent, and just perform, dude. Just perform, because that's the fact. That's the fact. That's a fact, dude. What else, people? What else, people? What else, people? Madden Season says, if we could afford it, would you sack Koeman? Not really, because I don't think that's many replacements right now. I think we need to wait a little bit more, transition out of this period a little bit more, get our finances back into a solid place, and maybe after that we can make those sort of decisions. Panjak Bora saying Braithwaite and Griezmann playing together is not really working. It isn't really working. Like I said, I think Memphis Depay coming to the middle and then having another winger would help a lot more, but let's see how we're working. Depay is the main mind now, Griezmann is the psyche, and that's the thing. That's surprising, because Depay came in early. His first season, and it's already kind of like his team. And that's something where Griezmann needs to improve on. AC1347 says, one thing I do not understand is Koeman's substitutions. Why bring on so many defenders and midfielders instead of forwards? I mean, we don't have that many forwards on the bench, so that is a place where I have a little of discrepancy for Koeman. I think that later on we're going to have more forwards, but right now we don't have. Right now we have, only Alex Collao, and he's not even like a proper forward. He's just a kind of advanced false winger, midfielder type. Our Lubin says, do you think Depay is a better overall player than Griezmann, or does he just suit the Barca style more? I think that it's a little bit of the two. I think that Griezmann, I think Depay overall for Barcelona right now fits more to the style. Certainly Depay is more of a Barca style player. Griezmann not so much, but I can also say in defense of Griezmann that I've seen more from Griezmann overall in his career. I mean, we're talking about a World Cup champion. We're talking about a player that has taken Atletico Madrid to significant trophies. He was the main talisman for them, and he was important in those victories. You take a look at Russia, and Griezmann was still over there playing good football. The Euros finals in 2016, he was also very, very important. Griezmann is a good player. Griezmann has done more than Memphis Depay in his career so far. But right now for Barcelona, Memphis Depay is taking more of the mantle. Mixed FCB says, Busquets playing in between the two center backs has to stop. It just doesn't work anymore. I think that part of Busquets' game is actually, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think that is kind of like the best part right now that we have. But the problem is that sometimes he just pushes himself. I always get tired, dude. I always get tired post games. I'm not idea why, but I always do. Okay, but the thing is that we take a look at that. We take a look at how Busquets drop into the middle between the two center backs. But then whenever he pushes forward, whenever he drives himself further up the midfield, he doesn't have the physicality. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the natural ability like before to just coming back, and defend. So that's a place where we need to improve, and that is where I want to see the young player a little bit more. I think that actually, perhaps if we move Sergio Busquets just further forward just a little bit, we could see an improvement. But currently, that's not my position to agree on, right? Here's an important quote that I just saw right now from La Senjera on Twitter by Koeman saying, Riqui Puig is not a good to single out, but the players and the club know what I think, and that is enough. Ooh, I have absolutely no idea how to make my way from it. I really wanna find out what's wrong with Koeman and Riqui Puig. I really want to. I really want. Stefan Murali says, why is Ter Stegen so bad? What happened to him, man? I have absolutely no idea. I think that it's a little bit about confidence, but he really hasn't been playing. He really has not been playing good, in my opinion. I think that he needs to improve by a lot, and hopefully we do that. Koeman is petty. That's by Richard Esios, saying clearly he still has grudge against Puig. Yeah, clearly. Everyone runs the word says Lemao. Koeman is happy with the team, and that's why we'll never improve under Koeman. Instead of realizing his mistakes and improving on them, he thinks we're doing good. I agree. I have absolutely no idea why he's saying that. Memphis, Fadi, Demir Griezmann with Pedri as Cam and De Jong and Busquets in a DM positions. That could work. Like I say, I think that's the best 11 right now we can field from the defense forward. Martin burns my eyes for the whole game. We need Fadi. We need Ansu Fati. Bundesliga relegation matches are more interesting than Barca matches. Currently, yeah. Fuck Koeman. Ricky hates him. Yep. There is no improvement in this team. It's Greasy fault or Koeman's. I don't think it's fault from Koeman at this point because we know that Griezmann is a good player and it's kind of like that's his position. So go out there and play, you know? Like he just needs to freaking play. And I think that's not fault by Griezmann. I don't know what else he could be doing to solve that, if you know what I mean. GG against Bayern, that's all I have to say. I actually think, guys, that the Bayern game might be a little bit of a surprise to all of us. I think that we may get like a weird result like we did against against Juventus or whatnot. But the thing is that Bayern Munich started a little bit slow. Now they're playing better. They got 17 goals in the last 2 games, which is absolutely mental. 17 goals in the last 2 games. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? 17 goals in the last 2 games, 12 of them in 1 game. But Lewandowski is still scoring like a madman, and Barcelona really are gonna struggle a lot. I think we're gonna struggle a lot. But if there's one thing that makes me believe that we can do something good, is the fact that the Nagelsmann will potentially have to. Nagelsmann tends to overthink things, very similar to what Pep Guardiola does in certain situations. I'm not too sure whether he's gonna do that in this game. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he overthinks, and hopefully he overthinks badly, so Barcelona take advantage of that. But right now Barcelona are not looking in a good place matching up to Bayern Munich, and that's pretty sure. I hope that perhaps we can nick a win here and there, but I am really, really not too happy and content about that. I'm really worried. I'm freaking worried. Really am. Motsiama Mupelo says Griffin's a good player but not good enough for Barca. Trincao looked great in shape for Wolves versus Man United. Yeah, Trincao looked very good against Manchester United. I'm actually gonna rewatch that game now. I didn't see it. I've seen a lot of the highlights, a lot of the people commenting about Trincao, but he actually apparently played a good game. So good on Trincao, actually. Good on freaking Trincao. Bayern will humiliate us again. It will be 30 goals in 4 games when they play us. Play the 3-2-1 formation if 4-3 is not working, but Koeman's still clueless. I think that we need to try with a front 3 of Memphis, Griezmann, Coutinho. But the point is that we don't have right now ability. We don't have right now possibilities to test ourselves because the next game is against Bayern. I mean, the game against Sevilla was delayed now because of the TAS and the entire thing that happened with the CONMEBOL players being called up and whatnot. So it's honestly going to be interesting to see how it happens. Whether we actually play Sevilla or not. Because right now on paper our next game is against Bayern Munich. So I'm a little bit worried, like the rest of you guys. I'm actually a little bit worried. Griezmann does not suit the wings. Play him at center forward. I think we could try that. Imagine playing, for instance, Memphis for the left, Griezmann as a center forward, and Dembele as a right winger. That could work. I think that could work. That could be nice to see how it could work. I think that we still need to see a little bit more of our team. And somebody's using a freaking, how you call that in English? The thing that it's sounding in the background. Oh my god, I don't know how you say that. How do you say that? How do you call that? The machine that makes the juice, where you put stuff in it. And it goes. I have no idea how you say it in English. I forgot completely. Now that you say that, now I'm really scared. What about Bayern? All of you should join PSG fan base. Why did Mirti not get a chance against Getafe? I'm absolutely insane. I really, really don't get that. Like I say, I'm really worried about what we're gonna do against Bayern. I'm really worried, honestly. I'm really worried. Any chances of getting knocked out in the group stages? I don't think we're that bad right now. I don't feel right it's gonna be that bad in the group stages. I think that we should be able to beat Benfica and Dynamo. I think we are a little bit better still than them, and perhaps our quality will pull us through. And I think that is going to be where we are gonna be improving. But against them is going to be our games, and it's going to be up if we can beat them 4 times. So get out 12 points out of those possible 12 points. If we can do that, I think that we're going to be mostly in the next stage. But against Bayern Munich, I think that if we beat Benfica twice, we beat Dynamo Kiev twice, and against Bayern Munich, we can at least compete. Maybe lose, but at least compete. Then it's okay. Like, we're going to progress. We're going to progress. It's called a blender. Oh, yeah, it's called a blender. Some people say juicer. Is it called juicer? I have no idea, but I know it's a blender. Okay, now that I remember, it's a blender. Well, Sao Sagma says, Koeman would be trusting Moriba, not play him right now. He could do good side. What a waste of opportunity for a play like a big club for Barcelona. I know the Moriba situation is a worrying one. It's a really worrying one because I have absolutely no idea how we're going to get him back. And like I said in a tweet, I mean, he had the perfect story. Moving to Barcelona, he had a good friend in Ansu Fati. He was different to different profiles of midfielders that the Barcelona produced previously. So we had a good player in him, and he just kind of pushed it all to waste. He just kind of really just put it all to waste because he could have had such a good opportunity because he was different. He was just a different player. But he just doesn't really care about that anymore. He just doesn't want to do that, and I have absolutely no idea why. I mean, Moriba, you had the opportunity of a lifetime to play at Barcelona, play the club that you wanted. But the thing is that he apparently doesn't love it. He doesn't love the club enough. I think that if you had the same situation with Ansu Fati, anyone like that, they would have potentially kind of understand what was wrong, But this guy in Elex Moriba, he just doesn't. And like I said, he won't be missed. He really won't be missed by me. Are you going to miss Moriba? I mean, it was a missed opportunity. Yes, I get it. He could have been the Pogba of Barcelona. I would have loved to see that because I always would like to see a profile player like that again in the team. But he won't be missed. He won't be missed because I won't miss him being as greedy as before. Bashan says, why we need Griezmann to play like Thomas Müller as a second striker. Fati and Dembele the wings, Griezmann as a center forward, and Griezmann as a second striker and the pass center forward. We're in the best defensively, so why not play with 4 forwards and play with 4 strength? That is something that I could try us. I would like to see that. I always would like to see a 4-2-3-1, but I think that one of the conditions of Laporta renewing Koeman or extending his contract for 1 more season is the fact that Koeman needs to play the 4-3-3. So that's a little bit of a discrepancy, especially that's what you get when you have that's a part where we need to improve, and I think that doesn't make a lot of sense because we have that discussions between our manager and our board. It makes sense when the board hasn't been selective of the manager, so that's kind of somewhere where we're paying. But I would like to see that, like you're saying. I feel that Fati on the left, Dembele on the right, Griezmann and Memphis in the middle could work. And I want to see how we can improve on. But I would like to see that be better. Greasy is not in good form. The pie and the young saving us. Pizza Koeman. I mean, at least some of the part and the credit for the young and the pie goes to Koeman. At least there must be something that he's doing right with them because there constantly are better players throughout the last 3 games. So it makes sense. Junior Joseph says Des played good today. Yeah, Des played really good today, and I think he returns also, and he remains in that group of players where I mentioned of the players, the guys who are kind of coached under Koeman. Remember he's kind of half Dutch, right? And it makes sense. I think that Dest was a very good player. I think that Dest was particularly impressive today, overlapping constantly for the right. I think that is where Emerson lacks a little bit. I think attacking wise, Emerson certainly is not as good as as freaking Dest. He's not as good as attacking as freaking Dest. So, of course, Dest is going to have more of an advantage. And I like Human at least identifying that, bringing Dest on, because we lack that kind of creativity for the right flank. But Emerson is good defensively. And we kind of needed that at least, or to grind it out. But I would constantly start Dest right now because I feel that that it's been a while. It's been a while, and we need that better. We need Dest because I certainly see a higher ceiling in him. Emerson is more balanced, but whatnot. Abrar Masoud saying, won't miss him got of all of the burned bridges because of the money. He went backwards with his career rather than forward. He chose to try to extort the club out of money when we had to let Messi go. 100% I agree with you. He didn't really put himself in the situation. He was bad. What about Agüero? Ooh, yeah. The thing about Agüero, honestly, I think Agüero could have helped us in games like this. I think that just certain situations we can just get the ball to him and try to score something out of nothing. Dest could have, for instance, those crosses that we had into Agüero could have been good. Could have been really, really good. So that, of course, is something that I would like to see more of. But Agüero is injured, so we need to see how we improve on. But right now, guys, there's a news apparently. Julien Laurent from France, from ESPN, I would say, has just said on Twitter that it all starts tonight. Leo Messi will make his PSG debut at Reims, and it's live on BT Sports. I don't care that. But we care about the first part, right? Leo Messi will make his PSG debut tonight. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be really weird. I'm still kind of refreshing Twitter to see if actually we have an official lineup, but I don't see anything from PSG currently, so I'm not gonna get excited right now. We know that Mbappe is starting as well, and we kind of know that perhaps Mbappe is gonna be staying because Tuesday is when the transfer window closes, right? 31st. Yeah, Tuesday is when it closes. So it looks like the Messi, Neymar trident will be good. People are saying Messi starts on the bench for PSG. Okay, but I don't get that. Let me see. PSG, dude, refresh your freaking thing, or I have to go to like the French Twitter. Do I go to the English one maybe? No, they still haven't posted anything. What the fuck, dude? The Spanish PSG side? It makes no sense. If they're gonna post it first, they're gonna post it in their freaking English language first, right? Who is Sandro? Oh, Sandro is you don't know who is Sandro? Sandro played for Barcelona before, and that is why he got booed a lot. And yeah. Leon Forrester, yo, Buga, my dude, what's good, my bro? What's good, my boy, Leon? Is it Leon or Leon? Leon like freaking lion. Mbappe is dumb. Why wouldn't you want to at least play one season with Messi and then leave next summer? Yeah, that's what I would do. Messi bench tonight, Mbappe starts, Messi's on the bench. Where is Messi on the bench? Dude, where do you get this information, dude? Where do you get this information? I see a lot of people saying like Messi on the bench and then Neymar and Mbappe starting, but I want to see where you are, dude. I want to see that. I want to see a lineup. Come on, PSG, dude. The game starts when the PSG game starts. PSG versus Reims. It starts at 1:45 for me. Okay, so apparently like in 7 minutes that's when you make, because you're allowed to upload it 45 minutes before, right? That's kind of where you need to upload the lineup, so makes sense. And some people saying here this is Memphis Depay's team, and yeah, this is pretty much Memphis Depay's team. Koeman is destroying with these worst ideas. We can't face Bayern this way. We need to pay them a debt. Dest is too young. Griezmann should be playing center forward. That way he's closer to Memphis. The scooper forward at the latest minutes. He is fast. You wanna watch PSG? I mean, I have nothing else to do, right? So I'm gonna do that. Green Carlo GT says here's the lineup for PSG starting. We have Nava, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Diallo, Tilo Kerrer. I have absolutely no idea where's Kimpembe. He's injured, or he's actually injured. Berratti, Wijnaldum, Idrissa Gueye, Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria. That's a good lineup. I want to see where is Paredes as well. I think that PSG best lineup would be Navas, I think Navas is better than Donnarumma. I don't know about you guys. Well, who do you think is better? Who do you think is better, Navas or Donnarumma? I think it's Navas. I would play Taylor, Hakimi, Marquinhos. I would play Ramos, Kimpembe. Then in the midfield, I would play Verratti, Wijnaldum, Paredes. And then I would play Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. But you could also play Di Maria. Like you could try not playing Paredes and play like Messi as a 10, and then Di Maria kind of like an inside winger doing a lot of defensive work, because we know that Di Maria can do that, right? So we could try that. Navas, of course, Navas for UCL nights. I wanted Messi to start. Me too. I wanted Messi to start. People are saying Navas. Navas is fucking awesome, dude. Navas is cool, dude. I had a university a friend that was from Costa Rica, and I know she watched some of the live streams because she watches football, and she was a fan from Real Madrid, and I was like, why? Only because of Keylor Navas? It was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then when Keylor Navas went to PSG, she started like buying PSG shirts, and I'm like, oh my god, what a plastic fan. What a plastic fan. She was just following because of fucking Keylor Navas. I wouldn't do that. Like, if there was a Peruvian playing for Barcelona and then he went to somebody else, I would be like, well, bye. I wouldn't change my club just for the sake of fucking supporting my countrymen. Like, if you want to support your countrymen, just support them. Like, I watch Celta Vigo games just for Renato Tapia. I watch Granada games just for fucking Luis Abram. I watch fucking Sheriff qualify to the Champions League because of a freaking Peruvian, Gustavo Dulcato. I don't remember what his last name is. So, I mean, just fucking watch your game. You don't have to change your team. There's no need to fucking change your team. Why would you change your team, you fucking plastic fans? But anyhow, what else do I need to talk about the game? We talk about Griezmann. We talk about Memphis. We talk about the midfield. We haven't talked about the substitution of Gavi and Nico Gonzalez, which is fine. I think we just have to say that it's a little bit worrying because if you take a look at Riqui Puig, he's far down the pecking order, like farther down the pecking order than those two, which are new incorporations to the squad from the B team. So that makes a little bit surprising. That makes it very, very surprising, right? But it was good to see Gavi and Nico Gonzalez. I think they're good players. I feel that that's good. I think that's good. I think it's good that we see them playing more, and I like them both. I think they're gonna be improving a lot. I think that Gavi is a proper baller. I think he's a gem. He's a player that we need to improve with a lot more. He's gonna become a really good signing for us, if I could say that. Nico Gonzalez, very same thing, and he kind of have an ilk to Lo Celso. I don't know why. I think he's similar to Lo Celso, both as a footballer and also as a person. He's very physically looking like Lo Celso. Maren here is saying Kuma no tiene huevos. No tiene huevos, en efecto. Buga, don't leave Barca. I won't leave Barca. Now has been awful these 3 matches, Buga. I haven't seen any of these 3 matches for PSG, but I think overall now was a better goalkeeper. If he out of nowhere just becomes bad, well, yeah, then good enough. Madden Season says 90% of PSG fans are plastic fans. I get that. I mean, yeah. Koeman has a personal vendetta against Puig. Yeah. Bolis, what's your view on Cristiano Ronaldo returning to Man United in regards to the Champions League? But when is your app? Like, quality of your channel gets better and better. I look forward to it, says Richard Esio. Well, let's start with the answer for Leon Forrester. So what's my view on Cristiano Ronaldo? I think that Cristiano Ronaldo... So first of all, Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United. I'm so happy that happened. Like, if Ronaldo went to Manchester City, I think the entire balance of football wouldn't make any sense anymore. Because I think Ronaldo is a United player. And it's good. Like, I think that it makes sense. I didn't like Ronaldo in Real Madrid. I mean, at Juventus, he was almost irrelevant. But now I'm Manchester United. I watch Premier League. I enjoy watching Premier League a lot. My dad watches Premier League a lot. So sometimes we watch together, or sometimes I'm just in my TV and then he looks at his own TV and we kind of just shout the goals at the same time, stuff like that, even though we're not together watching it. But you know what I mean? I mean, Premier League is fun. I think it's fun. I think I think Premier League is the best league in the world. Like, I think Barca, Real Madrid are fine in Liga, but it's mostly a 3-horse race. Like, I think the Premier League is the most entertaining league. Maybe not the best, but certainly the most entertaining. Every match is fucking exciting. So I'm gonna watch that. I think that Ronaldo improves Manchester United a lot. And in terms to the Champions League, like for the Premier League, certainly Ronaldo is gonna be a huge improvement for them because before Cavani, kind of you had some injuries here and there, and you didn't know whether he was gonna be as effective. But I mean, today he played. I need to see yet how he did, but Ronaldo is gonna guarantee you goals and it's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome with Ronaldo there. It really, really is going to be. I don't hate Ronaldo. I hated Ronaldo in Real Madrid, but mainly more for Real Madrid. Like I do not like Real Madrid, so that's just how it is. You know, I don't like Real Madrid. I like Gareth Bale, but I didn't like Gareth Bale in Real Madrid. You know what I mean? I like Mbappe, but I won't like Mbappe in Real Madrid. So I think it's a little bit different there. But yeah, I think that United for the Champions League, I think they're solid. I think they're good. But similarly to PSG, now they have a lot of pieces to put together and see how it works. We need to see whether Solskjaer steps up to the table. And most importantly, I do think they still need a 5. They do need a holding midfielder. They need to improve on, too. They need to improve on. And also, like I said, they need to improve on those small games. Like against Southampton the other day, they played bad. They played real bad. And we need to see how it improve on. But of course, someone like Ronaldo, a world-class player like Ronaldo, that's where you improve on, right? That's where you see Ronaldo just scoring those wonderful goals, those wonder strikes, and trying to hopefully get you out the table. So yeah. But anyhow, talking about, well, if you want to listen more stuff like this, more discussions of other clubs, you can listen to the podcast. You know where to find me. Links are going to be in the description down below. And the other thing that Richard Garcia says when my next upload, well, talking about updates, and I mentioned that I was going to do a little bit updates here. Yeah, what I'm going to be doing, guys, I'm going to be streamlining the content a little bit more in the channel. It's going to be more of like same thumbnails, same stuff like that, making more relevant, more easy, especially to edit. I want to reduce the time that it takes me to edit, but continue keeping the quality. And to do that, I need to streamline the content a little bit more. So that's what we are going to be doing the next few days. So expect changes in the terms of how the channel visually looks, but the content is going to remain the same. Because then also I just want to have fun doing videos on the Engine Room channel that we're going to be opening with Pablo soon, because we're going to be talking different topics there. So I like that a lot. We're going to be continuing the podcast. And most importantly, I already graduated from university, right? So I graduated from university, which is amazing 3.5 years in UK. But now I need to start looking for jobs. I have to be looking for new steps in my career. YouTube right now is not a thing where I can sustainably kind of live off. So I need to just look for new things in my life. And I think that is good. I need to spend some time on that, fix my portfolio, my CV, stuff like that, just send out applications, do all of that. And yeah, that's kind of where I am right now. I'm kind of just searching for the next step in my career, next step in life. And I'm really excited for that. And overall, I'm just really excited for what I have to do, and certainly want to keep the channel going because I like that. I like this to be our little space where we can talk about anything football. So yeah, guys, I think that some few questions, more questions, and I think I'll leave it there. I think we've done a lot of stuff right now here in this live stream. We talked a lot. But let's see. MW Troll says, really unlucky that 30 mil were a problem. It's more like 0.7 demanded to a high salary. Maybe that could be the case. Saad Mohammed says, talk about it. We failed summer transfers, winter transfers. I don't think there are going to be any winter transfers. I really don't. I think that the squad is going to remain how it is. What else? Any more questions, guys, that you have? Felix Marino says, do you think we'll have the funds for Haaland and we will have to go for a striker like Isaac, who would I think would be cheaper, seeing how we need a 9? I think that of course Haaland right now would be in our main, like I think Haaland is probably on every single club's like first name on the list as a number 9. So I think that is something that certainly will happen. But Isaac isn't a bad option either. Richard Esio says, Ronaldo with United still doesn't get them past Chelsea and City to me, but like you rightly said, definitely makes it more exciting to watch. I think that United makes them, it makes them more excited to watch and gets them closer, but doesn't beat them. I think that if you ask me if I have to make a front three, a top 4, I would probably say Chelsea, City up top, like 1-2, then Liverpool. I think Liverpool is an outside shot. I think Liverpool are good. I think Liverpool are still good. But yeah, I think that Liverpool are still freaking good. I think they're good. We saw against Chelsea, they're good. They don't have perhaps the same threat and ability to cut through teams like they did before, like particularly Chelsea. But the thing is that Chelsea are also fucking amazing, right? They're really, really solid. So I don't know. I think that it would potentially. I back Chelsea to win the Premier League this season. I think City will be second, and then Liverpool, and then Manchester United, which means weird. Manchester United are finishing 2 positions lower, but they are better. But it just tells you that the other teams are better. I think Liverpool are back to where they're supposed to be. Perhaps not a full throttle, but still kind of thereabouts. I think City are amazing, but without a number 9 and seeing how they struggle a little bit against these oppositions like Tottenham maybe they need to improve on a little bit, but I just see Chelsea the most complete team. But anyhow, guys, I think that is going to be it for today. Thank you for joining us here on the Engine Room. We're going to be uploading our next video hopefully on Monday, just like always, Monday tomorrow or the day after that. And yeah, continue on the channel, continue with it, and we'll see you in the next episode of Unwrapped, where we're going to be talking about the next game. And the next game right now on paper, like I said, is Bayern Munich. It's Bayern Munich, Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. So let's see how we do, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to drop us a like. And if you do not follow me on Twitter, go on Twitter and follow me, guys, because we're so close to getting to 1K followers, which is amazing. 1K followers. I love Twitter. You do not know how much I love Twitter. I think it's my favorite social media platform. And then YouTube. Yeah. But anyhow, thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one.